At Gathering for Women, our mission is to serve the homeless women of the Monterey Peninsula, providing supportive resources in a caring environment. It's hard to believe that such a beautiful, affluent destination location would be home to over 600 homeless women living in tents, cars, and temporary shelters. These women are our women. Imagine your grandmother living in her car, alone and isolated. Imagine being employed but not able to earn enough income to afford housing in your hometown. Imagine being an employed single mom of 3, living in an RV without running water with your 3 children, ages 11, 9, and 7. These are the women we serve. Our organization is 5 years young, and since the beginning, we've been a volunteer-run organization. Our volunteers are at the heart of our service.
Our core of volunteers are very dedicated and serve our center daily. We are so fortunate to have over 160 active volunteers, mostly women, but also a few good men are here to assist as well. Weekly, we average over 50 individual volunteers who work at the center to welcome and sign in our guests for the day's activities, provide breakfast and lunch service, clothing and personal care, and social services. Our volunteers are the heart of the organization. We have learned that we can make a difference in the lives of these women by providing them a safe place, a good meal, a listening ear, encouragement, and a smile.
So the programs that we offer besides our meals, showers, and clothes closet, we have our case management program, which is called Next Step. It's intensive case management, which every woman has to go through an intake. Through that intake, we provide a case plan for the women to be able to get out of homelessness and onto a pathway to be able to get into permanent housing or to accomplish their goals.
In addition to case management, our guests can participate in enrichment programs like art classes, acupuncture, and self-care, but most importantly, employment opportunities.
So the women that we have here, the majority of them are educated. They've got degrees, we have different backgrounds. Some are teachers, some have been in nursing, some are writers, artists. There's a diversity in the employment history and career paths that we have for the women.
I come to Gathering for Women because it's basically saved my life this last year after being homeless 3 different times. It's human kindness, and it helps take the craziness out of being homeless. There's just such beautiful volunteers here who truly care about us, and most of us couldn't survive being homeless if it wasn't for Gathering of Women. They've done so much for me over the last year. I can't ever repay, and I'm just so blessed to have a place to come to every day, to shower, to eat healthy food, women who truly care about us, clothing, the list goes on, and just really empathetic, caring, beautiful souls, and just good, positive, spiritual energy, which kind of propels us into our day and helps us every day. I would be at a loss. I would have to go back to my domestic violence situation in Santa Cruz. When I come to Gathering for Women, I feel a sense of peace, a sense of healing, a sense of camaraderie. It's a community of women who support women. And we don't have to feel ashamed that we're homeless and unshowered. No one turns away from us. We're given love no matter what we look like or smell like when we come here. And it actually feeds our spirit. It feeds my spirit.
The Gathering for Women has given me a day center that we can go to and take showers and eat, and they have work, job preparation services, and a lot of services that help the women here. Yeah, my biggest struggle is the lack of housing. Someone has to earn at least 3 times the amount of their rent nowadays, and that's almost impossible. What I love about the Gathering for Women is they accept you and love you unconditionally, without judgment, and they're very supportive.
I'm Kathleen Baker. I'm one of the original 5 founding members, and I'm pleased to be part of this really important group. When we started, all we knew is that we wanted to serve lunch once a week, but we did decide that we needed to be more. We needed to be a functioning nonprofit. And there's a point I can remember where the 5 of us sat on the park bench out in front of Founders Hall, Founders Hall being Monterey Founders Hall, and talked about how to continue to serve these women that we knew were vulnerable and needed a lot of help and were basically being ignored by our local community. It was a surprising time that it took off so well, and we really enjoyed the process. But there were a lot of challenges, and we've been lucky to have found so many volunteers in the community that really wanted to be part of this effort.
I joined the Gathering for Women a few years ago in part because I had had a brother-in-law who had spent several years living on the street, and I had seen in person the toll living on the street can take, the terrible mental and physical challenges, and in part because I wanted to give back to my community. But now, as the president of the board of directors of the Gathering for Women, I have seen the commitment of our community to help those women in our midst who are less fortunate and most vulnerable. Because of this amazing support, the Gathering for Women has been able to provide comprehensive services to these women in a way that gives them dignity and compassion. But our work is not done. As we all know, we're facing a housing crisis in our community. And consider those women who are already stretched thin and living on the margins. To continue to meet the needs of our women, we look to you and your networks and their networks to help us help our women find a pathway out of homelessness. Together, we can make a difference and change their lives for the better.